Hey everybody, I'm Alec. Welcome. Today we're going to talk about the 11 Forgotten Laws. This is content from Bob Proctor. Bob is one of my favorite law of attraction teachers. He's been working with this content, teaching it all over the world for over 50 years. And he is an absolute master. A really great guy to listen to speak as well. He's in his 80s and he's just bursting with energy, bursting with life. So he's really embodying the message that he is preaching. So the 11 Forgotten Laws, these are different layers of law of attraction that we're going to get into. Getting into some more specifics here. And I'm going to be reading from this, which is my newest manifestation book. I recommend getting one of these for creating your intentional manifestations. The more magical it looks, the better. Okay, so number one is the law of thinking. Whatever your dominant thoughts are, you will become. So the mind is like a garden. If we plant good seeds, we will reap the benefits, reap the fruits. But if we plant weeds, or we simply leave it to propagate freely, the weeds will grow, the bad thoughts will grow, and they'll take over the garden and start to manifest in our physical reality. So cultivate that garden wisely. Number two is the law of supply. There's an infinite supply that almost magically appears if you ask in the proper way. So the paradigm of scarcity is pervasive on this planet at the moment. However, nature, source energy is infinitely abundant. The idea of scarcity, especially on a personal level when it comes to something like love or health or wealth or anything like that, the idea of scarcity is an illusion. There is an instant and everlasting supply. You are source energy. So your nature is abundance. Number three, the law of attraction, also known as the law of momentum. So we were born to expect good things, and when we expect them, they will happen. Same if you expect bad things. If you're constantly worrying about what's going to go wrong, probably it's going to happen eventually. Whatever you're focusing on will intensify and manifest. Number four, the law of receiving. So if you give freely without worrying about whether or not you're going to have enough for yourself, you will always have an abundance. What you're doing when you're doing this is you're sending the subconscious message, you're sending the message to yourself that there is more than enough, there is an abundance. So giving freely without expecting anything in return. Also, this just feels good. Again, the not expecting anything in return is key. If it's transactional, it doesn't work in the same way. But when we give freely without expecting anything in return, amazing things come back to us. I've been intentionally practicing this principle, I would say about for the last 5 or 6 years, and it is truly amazing what has come into my life. Stuff that it was hard for me to even imagine that it could possibly manifest. It has come to be, and I believe it is largely because of putting out this energy, giving freely without expecting anything in return. So number 5 is the law of increase, also known as the law of praise or appreciation. So what are you praising, or what are you complaining about? What are you affirming and confirming? We have a choice in life, which is that we can notice and appreciate and affirm and confirm the things that we like, the things that we want to increase, or we can do the same thing for the things that we dislike. So again, be very careful what you focus on, because what you praise, what you appreciate will appreciate. The law of compensation. We get back what we put out in every way. So we must be it before we can see it. This is also, it's really important to keep in mind that when working with the law of attraction, there is a delay. So a lot of times people will be doing the right thing, keeping a positive attitude, having good intentions, giving freely, doing all this stuff for a while, maybe like a couple months or even a couple years, and at some point they're just like, oh, why hasn't it come yet? Why isn't it working yet? And it's because there's a delay. There's always a delay. So when we're doing this work, it's very important that we have faith that whatever it is on its way. It's on its way. So the law of non-resistance. When we experience problems, we do not put extra suffering or negative emotion into those problems. Just accept reality and move forward with your vision in mind. This is not resisting what is. This has been a big challenge for me this year because, and I would imagine for a lot of you, because this past year was really crazy. There was a lot of stuff happening that personally I had a pretty large amount of resistance to. And in my own personal life, I was creating a extra struggle, extra suffering by not accepting what is. Especially if you don't have control over those things. So this non-resistance, the way to cultivate this is to simply notice and have neutrality to these things. Even if it's something that would usually bother you, make you angry, make you frustrated, whatever, you can choose to have neutrality towards it. And what you're doing when you're doing that is you're saying, this thing does not have power over me anymore. If you allow something to make you angry or frustrated or change your emotion in any way, that thing has power over you. And this is a choice that we get to make. So number 8 is the law of forgiveness. This may be the most important for moving forward, is to forgive yourself and forgive everybody and anybody around you. Holding a grudge is like taking poison. It's like what's this? There's a saying about that. It's like taking the poison yourself when you're trying to get back at your enemy. Right? Because holding a grudge is allowing that past energy, that past experience to control us in the present time. And what we're doing when we're doing that is we're giving away our power. So to forgive yourself for any mistakes that you've made, and to forgive others for any way that they've hurt you or any mistakes that they've made, is it's an incredible way to liberate ourselves and to release resistance, to be able to move forward into the future with a lightness of being, as opposed to being held down and held back by the experiences of the past, which we can no longer change. The only thing we can do is change how we are relating to those experiences. So that's the law of forgiveness. Number 9 is the law of sacrifice. We must give up something in order to gain something else. So we're constantly making these choices of what are we going to give up in order to gain the thing that we would like to gain. What do we need to give up in order to manifest our vision into our physical reality? There's always an interplay. There's always a sacrifice between what you're creating and what you're sacrificing to create that. It could be time, it could be money, it could be attention, it could be lots of different things. So number 10 is the law of obedience. Surrendering to the universe is a beautiful feeling. Live your life in tune with your inner guide. Surrendering to the universe is a beautiful feeling. This means really having faith. Really trusting in your inner guides, in your higher self to bring you towards wherever you're going. And to know that you are safe and you are loved in this moment and at all times. Number 11 is the law of success. Whether you believe you can or you believe that you can't, you are right. And that's it. Bob Proctor's 11 Forgotten Laws. These have been super useful in my life, and I'm constantly referring back to them as a reminder. Constantly reminding myself of this because life is full of challenges, and it's easy to forget this information, to start going down the wrong pathway. So I hope that this has been helpful for you today, and I hope that your manifestations will come to you quickly and easily, with ease and grace and flow. Thanks for watching. Peace.